They've done it again. Johanna Runte and Stephen Mitchell are the APTA national champions for the second year in a row.
There you have it, your women's APTA national champions, Florentina Harnisch and Anna Maria Sabori.
Hello and welcome to the APTA's Grand Prix Series. We're live from the Orchard Lake Country Club in West Bloomfield Township, Michigan, bringing you the Detroit Invitational Grand Prix, sponsored by the APTA membership, our national sponsor Viking, and local sponsors Fast Tech Global, Cook Wealth Management, Grand Steel, GSD Partners, Wilson Partners, Etkin Real Estate Solutions, CBRE, Stash, Fortis Net Lease, Diag Partners, Bob Woodruff Foundation, the Boisterous Companies, Gen Oil, Dark Horse Brewery, and Jack McNaughton, playing paddle since 1970. I'm Mark Fischel, along with our favorite Australian announcer, Jerry Vian, live from Australia, bringing the finals of the second Grand Prix of the season, match between Harnisch Sabori and Shea Sutter. Jerry, welcome.
Thank you, Mark.
Wonderful to be able to join you. So this should be a great match. Let's take a look at the players on the court and introduce him. That is Flor Harnish at net on the right, and her partner Anna Maria Zabori, and Amy Shea on the ad side, and Jolene Sutter.
Okay, let's take a look at the draw to see how these teams got here.
Yep.
And interestingly, Jerry, both teams had absolute wars in the quarterfinals. Three-hour, 15-minute match. Harnish Zabori had to save 5 match points in their quarterfinal, and then had relatively easy matches in the semis. So I don't think fitness is going to be a huge issue today.
Yeah, right. Those quarterfinals were really the tough matches. Let's got the umpire here introducing
Rob Laboon in the chair.
On my right, from Union, New Jersey, Florentine Harnish and her partner Anna Maria Zabori from Westport, Connecticut. Their opponents today are Amy Shea from Wilton, Connecticut, and Jolene Suter from Darien, Connecticut. Tonight's match will be the best 2 out of 3 tie-break sets.
Let's take a quick look at the Viking keys to victory.
Ms. Harnish and Zabori won the toss and have elected to receive.
So Jerry, why don't you walk us through this? So for Harnish Zabori, we talked a little bit earlier on about the net positioning.
All right, perfect.
And they tend to get a little bit out of place at times, and against a player as experienced as Amy Shea, that can really hurt them. And as we also saw in the semis, they've got to maintain focus and play every point. There are times when they'll kind of go away and play a little bit like it's an exhibition. And again, against this team, they can't afford to do that. And finally, not try to end points too quickly. Be patient out there, take their opportunities when they arise, but wait for the right one. Okay, for Shea and Sutter. Speed of play. As we talked about in the semifinals, if you're going to play fast against Harnish Zabori, you're going to end up finishing second. You just can't do that. The Sutter forehand, to me, is the key to this team. In the quarters, we saw several times when she just kind of stopped hitting it of her own accord. Nothing they did that forced her to do it. It's a terrific shot. It's a very offensive shot, and she's going to get a lot of swings. And then finally, the ability to lob high and negate the spin that Zabori generated, as we saw in the semifinals. If you're not lobbing well, she's really going to punish you.
Well done, Mark. Sorry, I got disconnected there somewhere across the ocean.
Lauren Mandel infected
you? Not sure, but I'm back now. I can see the screen. Before it's a little weird. Yeah, I mean, the speed of play for me is the #1 factor. I mean, we've seen Amy Shea time and time again just control and slow it down to an absolute crawl, and she can then control the points. And Harnish Zabori love to play fast, and the more speed, the more pace it's generated, the more opportunities arise for them, and they can see different plays, and they're both fast and athletic. So I think, obviously a big key to this is Jolene Sutter. How she will perform in her final in a Grand Prix. This is her first final in a Grand Prix event. They did win a couple of weeks ago up in Western New England.
Yeah, please.
Yep.
Right
and
there.
had some good wins over 2 solid teams, Delmonico Gabier and who was the other team?
And the other one was Macy Elliott, Marcella Rodesno.
Yeah.
I would say more than solid teams. I would say the second and third best teams in the country right now.
Yeah, so that will give Sutter a lot of confidence. And, of course, coming up today, beating the #2 seeds, Gio Williamson, they would be feeling very good, but they haven't really experienced the spin and the power of Harnish Zabori this season. These guys head-to-head did play each other last season, also in the Western New England, and it was like a 6-3, 6-2. But this is 2 very different teams. Both teams have improved tremendously since last year, so I'm really looking forward to this match.
Yeah, Jolene Sutter's taken a big step forward. We talked about it a little bit in the quarterfinals. Last year she was seeing 80-85% of the ball, so that has not been the case this year at all. She's driving the ball off of both wings and and has really become a very effective player.
Yeah, well, she has always, hit off of both sides. Her weakness has been her forehand and also her volley. And I've seen improvement in that area. Unbelievably fast. I mean, she has got foot speed, so she will be able to catch up to a lot of the drops that Sabori likes to hit, and the slashes with the breaks. I mean, she'll be able to cover, so it'll be up to Amy to switch sides and balance the court.
Well, the area they really have not been tested yet is volleying. Neither in the quarterfinal match with Gio Williamson, there was not a lot of driving, not a lot of fast-paced play, and that's not going to be the case in the final.
And I also noticed in the semis that they were not switching at net, which is so unusual. Have a lefty, it's always putting forehands in the middle. They were not switching at net, and their court positioning was interesting. So I'm going to take a look, see if Hanish Sabori can capitalize on putting that ball in the middle and then also taking advantage of the gaps that are in their net positioning.
Players ready.
Okay, here we go. Jolene Sutter to serve to Flor Hanish to get us started. Flor was really hitting that forehand in the semis.
Yeah, Hanish has really improved her forehand.
Little backhand chip from Zabori. And there they get caught without switching.
Love
and Sutter
15.
misses the backhand overhead from deep in the court.
And Hanish really can isolate the pinpoint accuracy with her lobs.
The other thing, Jerry, they didn't in the quarters. We didn't find them switching at all when they were mismatched like this, which was interesting. In the backcourt,
15 all.
good forehand there from Sutter. Catches the back of the line, and I think a fast start is imperative for them.
Yes. So they weren't switching in the backcourt as well as in the net.
When
so
they got caught with Sutter in the backhand side, they just stay there. And when I talked to them about it after the match, they said that at Nationals last year, Gio's lobbing down the line over Sutter's right shoulder had really bothered her. Now there's that big Zabori forehand.
15-30.
And she's improved so much in spotting that drive, Jerry.
Right, she's aiming higher over the net, picking different spots.
15-40. $30-40.
I think that's the first forehand I've seen Hanish miss today.
Yeah, she looked a little tight on that one, kind of pushed it.
Yeah, that wasn't a real fluid swing, was it?
Game. Hanish, Zabori. They win the first
Yeah, I don't know that
game.
Molenveld
That's-
Tadaro held serve once in the semifinal.
That Sutter serves sitting up right in the strike zone of where Zabori likes to take the ball. So she's either going to have to move it around or try to get it a little bit lower.
They can't play regular serve in, come in paddle. They're going to have to play some I formations, stay back, do some things differently.
Which will also help them when they're serving to Zabori. If they're not thinking about switching, they can just...
Yeah, they didn't seem to think much
Keep
about
their
switching in the quarterfinals, Jerry, so that was not much of an issue.
Right.
I said to Patty Hogan, I've never seen a high-level match
Miss
where a
Hanish
lefty
to
played
serve.
the ad court at the net. Flor Hanish to serve. That's interesting. Usually it's Zabori to start.
Love 15.
And this is one of our keys that we had said, Mark, was Hanish and Zabori have got to tighten up their net positioning because Amy Shea will find a half-inch hole on the court.
Yep, she's terrific at that. One of the best.
15 all.
Great pace overhead there from Zabori. Yeah, it's some great driving from Sutter, and that's what that was our other key that we talked about, Jerry. She's just got to believe in that forehand. A little indecision in the backcourt there.
All.
I think any short balls Sutter should take. She's got the foot speed.
Same thing there. They're kind of looking at each other.
40-30.
That was clearly Shea's ball.
Just long.
And this is a bad pace of play for Shea and Sutter, Jerry.
First set.
Beautiful scene here, Orchard Lake Country Club. A lot of people watching around the grounds. Nice evening.
And it looks beautiful there. As we've seen with Amy Shea, you can never count her out. So even though these first two games have gone quickly.
Well, the other thing that point, Jerry, was they had 3 or 4 balls, all of which they could have switched on, and didn't on any of them.
This is Amy Shea serving. And again, look at where Zabori is taking that returner serve. Her right at shoulder height. She can just swing straight through the ball.
Zabori's just got a magical pair of hands.
15-30.
Yeah, watch this point of contact here. It's a good angle to see it. The weight going forward. I like how Sutter is really letting her ball drop lower on her overhead, and she's got a lefty, like a little bit of a cut spin on it. She's keeping that ball deep in the court and low. There is not a lot of lefty female players in the top of the game.
Good forehand there from Hanish. Point for 3 love. Part of the large crowd that's assembled here, walking past. Rare serve, Zabori doesn't drive.
Oh, interesting strategy here. They're making Zabori set herself up. Normally they go over to Hanish, but they're playing all the balls to Zabori, and she showed some patience there. She was a willingness to hit a few lobs to get that ball to drive.
And that ball that she drove was a backhand.
Love.
Such a fine line in terms of driving the right balls and playing too fast. And right now, Shane Sutter on the wrong side of that line.
You know, I think, Sutter wants to hit her drive. She wants to show her presence on the court. So, as I said, she didn't even try for that.
No, that seemed like it was a retrievable ball also.
I think the ball's breaking towards Sutter. see those trademark high, deep lobs from Amy Shea.
And then she hits it down, up, overhead, right into Florinish's happy spot.
40 love.
Boy, Zabori just firing that serve in. And then with a sloppy
40,
miss.
15.
But you could get some of those errors from her if you're playing patiently and putting a lot of balls in the court. See, that's a ball I think Amy Shea's got a lot. That goes right to pace of play. I mean, if that ball comes over the net, they're probably going to volley it anyway. They're in good position.
Right, they were right on top of the net. There'll be a tactical adjustment here. You can see there's Amy Shea and Jolene Sutter. You know, I always love that they take the time to figure out the strategy, but not too much time. And you can see Harnish and Zabori down there keeping their feet moving, which is so important that you don't get pulled into that slow pace.
Love 15.
So again, they're still just
right now. It's just all Harnish and Sabori. I mean, they're firing on all cylinders.
Well, I think they've got to make some adjustment on serve, whether it's the I formation or staying back or something. I don't think they can just serve and come in regular formation. It's not a winning strategy to me. Has anybody had more on-court conversations during a match than Amy Shea?
No, she's actually, the umpire is telling them.
Yeah, time to play. Again, no switch.
You see Zabori's trying a little cat and mouse there and trying to take advantage to open up the court.
Great lob there from Harnish. Oh, great move from Zabori getting out of the way of that ball. She's so dangerous when she comes forward like that, Jerry.
30.
Yeah, she puts pressure on you.
Again, the failure to switch puts them in a dangerous position.
15,
I just don't
40.
understand that, Jerry.
Well, maybe they haven't been punished up until this point because of it. But I think, you know, right now you can see Harnish can find that spot that's got Sutter moving back into the middle of the court. And she was, 3 feet behind the service line. That's a tough place to get that ball back in.
Okay, game Hannah Zabori, 5-love first set.
Zabori,
It's a
Jerry.
lot of pressure on these guys. There's just Harnish and Zabori are just moving the ball around. They're seeing it clearly. And there's a lot of pressure on Shea and Sutter right now.
Jerry,
Try to
Viking,
get on the board.
one ball to rule them all. One ball is consistently chosen for the sport's highest level tournaments, league plays, social events, and weekend outings. For the last 25 years, we've remained the overwhelming choice. Viking, unleash the warrior in you. The official ball of the APTA, the official ball of the National Championships and the President's Cup, and the official ball of the Grand Prix Series. We've got a special guest visitor stepping in to spend a few minutes with us. Detroit's newest pro, semi-finalist today. And one of her best assets is she helped us speed the tournament up after we were way behind.
And her name would be?
Her name would be Myrta Molenveld.
Hey, welcome, Myrta.
Myrta, can you hear us?
I think I can.
So first off, Myrta, welcome to Detroit, or thank you for welcoming us to Detroit. But how do you like working here?
Started about a month ago. Just been spending a lot of time here at Orchards with Lincoln, prepping for the tournament. Started to teach a little bit. Bought a house today.
15 love.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So far so good. It's just the beginning, but I'm excited to bring some more ladies paddle on the map here in Michigan next couple of years.
And tell us about your
Yeah, we're
club.
looking forward to it.
So I'm at the Birmingham Athletic Club. It's a great club. It's a rackets club only. They've got squash, tennis, paddle, and pickle. There's about 650 members. I believe there's a wait list right now. And people love their racket sport. Courts are always booked, and people are excited to
30 love.
be doing anything that has a racket and a ball. So I'm very excited to be here, and it's nice to have a local tournament just a few minutes away from home.
It takes us to triple set point.
40 love.
Myrta, tell us a little bit about, not specifically your semifinal match today, because I know you don't want to talk about that, but just what it's like playing against Hana Sabori.
I think that when you look at their team, there's just a lot of offense
Game,
coming from everywhere.
Sabori, they win the
Flora is
first
probably
set,
one of the
6
smartest
games to
players
love.
on the court, and Sabori just brings a lot of talent and excitement. And the more you make Anna move, the better she plays. Once you get behind with them, it's hard to catch up, I
Minute
think.
30, ladies.
And that's exactly what just happened. So hopefully Amy and Yulene can have a better start in the second set to get on the scoreboard, because otherwise I could see how Anna and Flora start dominating the second set as well.
Myrta, what do you think Southern Shea need to do?
What do you think Shutter and Say need to do more of, Myrta?
You know, I saw the last two games. I think it's just going fast. So you got to stay in the point longer. I think you got to have the lob deeper. Just stay in the point a little longer. You just make them hit one more ball every single time, every point you're going to play.
Now, you and Annika Cooper had a great match with them at Long Island last year, which I think was like 4-6. It was really competitive, really well played. Is that what you guys were successful doing?
I think yes. I
30
think
seconds.
we
Sorry.
picked our spots well in that match. I think we got in every point. You know, I think they just got to find a way to
Okay,
get
ladies, we're ready whenever
to
you
get
are.
into every point and get going and just really settle in. I think Amy and Yulene, I've practiced a lot with them last year. They're a very strong team. You know, Amy's been playing on the top, top spots. I mean, she's phenomenal, one of the best players, and Yulene is just getting better every match she plays. So I think they just got to keep picking their spots and just hang in there a little longer.
And when can we expect to see you and Annika Cooper on the court again?
So Annika and I talked a little bit about the schedule. I think we'll be heading to the Midwesterns in January, and then we'll do Boston, and then we are looking to play the rest of the season, potentially Short Hills, I think Philly, and then Nationals. Yeah, I'm excited to play with her again. You know, it's obviously a big change in here. I mean, there's not many
15 love.
female players, and so I've been playing with some of the guys here. They've been very nice, but it's nice to play with a really good friend. And
Were the guys very nice after you beat them?
you know,
15 all.
I joked yesterday, my happiness level on the court is really high. I'm not sure that my paddle level was that high, but I'm very happy, and I think normally when you're happy, you're going to play better. So I'm going to stay happy and enjoy every match that I get to play, because it's definitely fun to be out there competing after a long week of work, especially in, locally and with your friends that, you don't get to see all the time.
And any ideas why
All
we've
right.
seen Shutter say not switching at the net?
Why they're not switching?
Yeah.
I think maybe there's so much
30-15.
offense coming that they're just afraid that they're going to get caught on the transition, so they're waiting for a better moment that's might not be there at times. But they put yourself in a very tough spot. Even here, not going Aussie potentially. I know Yulinas and Amy are both very comfortable playing either side of the court in the back. Just it seems like a challenging thing in the middle with the backhands at the net.
40-15.
So maybe
All right, so
they'll
look,
add
this
some
is
more
a this
Aussies
is a
in there
big
to
point
get
right
the
now
right-
in the match for
shots,
Sutter and
going.
Shea to get in. They're up 40-15. There's a couple of loose errors have come into Hanish and Zabori. So here's their opportunity. You can see a couple of well-placed overheads.
Okay.
Oh,
Game.
Shea
There you
Sutter on
go.
board. Mirta, thank you
They
very
win
much
the
for
first
joining
game
us.
of the
Thank you,
second
Mark, for
set.
having me.
Good
Hana
luck
and
in
Corey win
the
Berta,
future.
congrats.
6 games to love.
I'll be here. I'll be playing. I'm excited to be back.
Fantastic.
Berta, congratulations on your new position.
Okay, big first game for Shea Sutter to get on the board, Jerry.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like you could feel it. You could feel Sutter and Shea have calmed down a little bit, and like we said in the
15
earlier match,
love.
Hanish and Zabori, they still, even though they won the first set 6-love, you cannot afford any loose errors, especially against
15
Amy
all.
Shea. She can turn the tide. So that's 15 all. Second set.
One love, Shea Sutter.
All right, you can see Shea Sutter
Oh, it's a great volley from Hanish.
digging in.
Yeah, much better pace of play for them right now.
Yep. More balls, higher over the net. Not going for too much. Just make Hanish and Zabori hit one more shot.
30-15.
Whoa.
You don't see Amy Shea miss-hit a lot of balls like that.
40-15.
She had a big backswing on that return. Bigger than normal. She mistimed it.
Game. Hana, Zabori. Games are 1-all. Second set.
Well, those last 3 points were, the last 2 points especially, were very fast. Just can't afford
Yeah,
to
a little
miss
bit like-
returns.
Right, a little bit like the first set. That
Love,
is the one
15.
weakness that Sutter has been working on, that forehand volley. It's a
Tends to
tough
swing
shot.
at it.
15 all.
You can definitely get some misses from Sabori with some good deep lobs.
Right. Yeah, that's it. You can see Zabori, she didn't have her feet under her with that deep shot. And that's where she'll make the errors on the overhead.
Looked to me like she was mimicking a lesson you'd given her. So again, no real intent to switch sides.
No, it's interesting, but that's the spot. Boy, great control.
There they go.
Zabori there.
And that's just pressure that
15,
Sabori's putting on him
30.
right there. It looks like an unforced error, but it was clearly a forced one.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just Sabori just moving the ball around. Not in any rush. Just that willingness to build the point, to just relax into it and not feel like you have to win the point.
All.
Sutter's she's got to be careful. She's got to let that ball drop a little bit more on the overhead and get her overhead deeper in the court. So those last couple of overheads were short. Sabori was able to get a swing at it. She missed it wide.
30,
but
40.
You don't want them hitting inside the court.
Well served game from Amy Shea despite that last fault. Taking control of the net after every serve.
Yeah, that's a better overhead by Sato. See how she let that ball come down? Just a little too much pace on it.
It's a big
Yes.
game right here.
Oh, heads up.
Yeah, this would make a statement if Shea and Sutter held here.
Advantage, Miss Shea.
Good serve by Shea. Pulled her out wide. She's been serving down the tee up until that point.
Great volley from
Game.
Sutter there on a huge
Shea,
Zabori
Suter.
forehand.
They lead 2-1.
That was
Second
a big
set.
hold.
That was a
Honor
confident
Sabori
service
lead-
game from
won the
Amy
first
Shea.
set 6-0. Come on.
Yeah, they just have to have a willingness to outweight them. You know, get them to press a little bit.
Well, you're not going to beat him any other way.
Right.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the thing. If you want to play fast, that may be fun, but it's not going to end well for you.
Yeah. But it's so easy to get caught up in that speed of play. But if anybody can control it, like we've said time and time again, if anyone can control the speed of play, it is Amy Shea.
And this is exactly the type of point they need to play. Some drives, but low risk drives. Good high lobs. They get an error.
Yep. High lobs
Love
keeping
15.
Zabori out of the service box. And now Zabori has got to be aware of where she is on the court and then make the adjustment on her overhead choices. Go for safer, deeper overheads when she's back off the net. Wait until she can really feel herself getting closer to the
15
net
all.
to add the extra spin.
That point just got going
Nice
too fast
overhead.
early.
30, 15.
By Harnish. Yeah, nice placement. Got Sutter turned around and off balance.
Yeah, Shea can't drive that ball from that deep into court. She survived a couple of shots, but that's just what Hannes
40,
wants from
15.
you.
Yeah, they're both, Harnish and Zabori love to hit their drop shots. So you got to be very careful when you're hitting a drive from back there.
Game. Hanish Zabori.
Big serve down the tee.
Games are 2-all. Second set.
And that's one of the things that Hannes Zabori do, unlike any other team in the women's game, is they both serve so well. It's a huge
Yeah, they go
advantage.
for their serves. They can also move it around. The placement is good.
Pace and spin. I mean, the difference in this match is stark. I mean, Hannes Zabori are getting swings on virtually every serve from Shea Sutter.
Okay, 2-all. Oh, I love that scout shot by Zabori. Caused a confusion, pulled Shea out wide, and then the lob went up the middle. Went for the drive. Just a combination of shots now. It's not just one big speed. It's the placement. It's the combination of also different heights over the net. And you see the seamless switch in the back.
And the lack of a switch at the net. Boy, they look confused, don't they?
Love 30.
There was going to be a drive-by drop shot. It was a good idea, but it's just...
It really was a good idea?
Well, it's uncomfortable to see them on that side. It was a good idea to hit a drop shot, yes, but she needed to be right on top of the net. I wasn't sure about the switch. That overhead is too short. Oh, she got a gift there, Zabori, pushing
15,
it long.
30.
Yeah, that one had a sign on it that said, "Hit me." Well, that
That's
ball
the
barely
lob
crawled
placement
over the
that's
net.
going to... Yeah, that's the lob placement that's going to cause issues. Oh, make the switch. You see Amy Shea's overhead. It stays so low and it's deep in the court, so it's stopping Zabori from being able to drive.
That's a great lob from Zabori there. Really opened the court up with it. Pushed Shea way behind Sutter. But again, good pace.
Yes, of course.
30 all.
Caused a little confusion there.
And kudos to Rob Laboon for taking charge on the court and not allowing him to have these long conversations. I expect him to say something here again. See, he's looking at his watch.
Yeah. No, Rob does a great job.
Terrific umpire.
Umpiring matches, yep, and also organizing. I mean, he's one of our captains, so he organizes the band of umpires out there in Detroit. He also did the Chicago Charities.
And Rob, former top 15 player.
Yeah, he knows the game really well. Let's see, Harnish lobbing and setting up her forehand. She got the ball short. She took the swing.
Great lob from Zabori there. Boy, such a good
pushed
point
it long.
Shea Sutter played, but that's just the pressure that you get constantly from Anish
30-40.
Sabori.
Yep, you're spot on, Mark.
Just no,
They have to be so careful
no
where
safe
they
spots.
place their overheads.
One board could make a difference. Amy and Jolene have such a great relationship. They have a lot of fun on the court and off the court together. It's really fun to see.
Yes. It's so important to have that chemistry with your partner.
They're in this match right now. They just need to find a way to continue to hold serve.
Yeah, whipping that ball deep away from Zabori's hand is a way to stay out of trouble. Now they've made the switch. Now
Great volley from
hitting
Sutter.
that ball into two screens gave them time to make the switch at net without getting into trouble. That's a good speed overhead by Sutter. Slower and deeper.
Both Hanish and Zabori wanted to swing at that one.
Yeah, but here you see, they're using the lob to set up their offense. They're not just lobbing because they can't drive. They're using that lob and they're looking for the next shot. He's really wide ball. She's Shea out, opening up the court. It's a low percentage shot, but she's really calibrated the speed of it.
Great point there from Shea Sutter. They survived the onslaught.
Yep. This game is probably the longest game of the match so far.
Might be longer than the first set. That's great play from Zabori.
Advantage, Miss Zabori.
Zabori's got such a myriad of weapons, Jerry. There's so many ways she can hurt you.
Yeah. Yeah, speed, placement, spin, the razzle-dazzle. I mean, you really have to keep your concentration.
Great court coverage from Sutter. That's going to nick, yep.
Game, Hanish, Zabori.
Yeah, I said it in the semifinal,
lead
Jerry,
3
and I
games
can
to 2.
repeat it in the
Second
final.
set.
You have
Hanish,
three
Zabori won the
really
first set,
talented
6
rackets
games to
players
love.
out there, and then you have Zabori, who's really kind of a level above in terms of her abilities and her tennis career. Played, I think, all 4 junior Wimbledons. Grew up with Djokovic and Ana Ivanovic, both one current, one former world #1.
Yeah, it's fun to see how her game has improved, over these last 2 seasons where we watched her play mini tennis on the paddle court. And then once she decided to really get serious and understand the game of paddle and see the strategy and see the court a different way, she and Hanish are elevating the way the
15,
women
love.
play. And everybody will come, is rising with them. Everybody's up for the challenge, and of course, we can't wait for Cruz Nicolescu,
Yeah.
to get back in, because that was some women's final at the national championships, and all these teams are going to push each other. Delmonico Gebbia, I mean, look, they're improving it. Delmonico's been playing for a lot of years, but she's still working on her game, and everybody is up for the challenge. So it's a really exciting time, women's play.
Great dig from
Elliot
Zabori.
Radisno.
Oh. Boy, that is free
Yeah,
flowing.
I think, adding
40,
that one,
love.
just Floor Hanish having the confidence in her forehand now and the encouragement of Zabori to, really hit it. There's no safe spot on the court.
And Isabel Caban
40,
informs me that
15.
regardless of the outcome, Henderson Zavori will continue in first for the APTA Cup with over 1,000 points clear of anyone else. That's the season-long
Yeah, so
event.
and this is a Detroit is a Grand Prix, which is double the point value. So
Game,
there's a lot.
Hanish Zaburi, they lead 4 games to 2, second set.
All these teams are chasing that ETA Cup, which will be your best 6 tournaments with prize money of, what is it, 40,000?
40,000, I think is right, Jerry, yeah.
Each tournament, each of these tournaments has prize money as well.
The only thing I would say to correct you is all these teams aren't chasing the cup. All these teams are chasing Zabori Hanish, who are way out in front for the cup.
Well, it's early in the season, Mark.
But as Yogi Berra said, it's
Love
getting late
15.
early, Jerry. Very late early, especially for this match.
Yeah, Harnish also hitting the two-handed backhand off the deck. Oh. Look at the shoulder turn on Sabori, but her feet are behind the service line.
15 all.
It's a tough shot far back off the net.
Wow. When Hannes is driving the ball this well, Jerry,
15,
they are
30.
virtually unbeatable. Because there's nowhere to hit the ball. You're just under constant pressure all
Right.
the time.
And both Shea and Sutter's ball is sitting up right in Zabori's
15,
strike
40.
zone. Right up at her shoulder height, where she's got such early preparation, such good shoulder turn, and she can just pick her spots from there.
And as we talked about earlier, such a big difference in the serves of the two teams.
Yes, you've got depth, placement, spin, kick. It's an offensive mindset that they both Harnish and Zabori have on their serves.
Look how much
Oof,
movement
that was a close volley.
Yeah, look how much movement they've caused Sutter to have at the net this point, at least until that miss. But before that, they had her all over the place.
30, 40.
Yep.
This is a baby match point, Jerry.
A baby match point.
Baby match point. Ori misses that one.
Deuce.
I don't see them coming from 5-2 back. I don't think they've had a break point yet.
Yeah, I think, like the focus and concentration of Harnish and Zabori, not throwing
Advantage,
in a
Miss
bunch
Zabori.
of loose errors.
The best news for Shea Sutter is I've seen Zabori reach for her hamstring a couple of times.
Game, Hanish Zaburi, they lead 5 games to 2, second set. Hanish Zaburi won the first set, 6 games to love.
I'm really questioning which Hanish Zabori team played the quarters, because the team that we've seen today, Jerry, seems virtually unbeatable.
I think, they got tested. That first close match of the day is always, a little shaky. I think Heather Prop and Matuka are as unknown teams, so they probably didn't know what they were looking at, where the strengths or weaknesses are. So it took them a little bit to get into the match, although you said they were down 3 match points. So
I think 5.
Really?
That's the number I heard, yeah. That's what Lincoln gave me. And kudos to Lincoln and his team. They've done a great job. Karen Nijek, great job. And Sheedy always does a wonderful job. She baked all the cookies for lunch today on top of all the other hard work.
Not that you were trying cookies.
After 6, I'd had enough.
Oh, just the touch and the hands
Dirty
of
love.
Zabori. I mean, he just took that drive from Shea and just volleyed it back soft and deep.
And to your point, Jerry, this is a different Floor Hannish from last year. And she's playing much better. Of course, she was carrying around another human being last year for a big chunk of the season. That could have an impact on you. So I've been told. Some of my partners felt that way carrying me around.
Both these guys are, rackets professionals full time. So they're on the court, they're working on their games,
40,
and they
30.
clearly are enjoying putting the time in the court.
Match point. And Zabori catches the nick, and it's game, set, match. Hannish Zaboris love 6-2.
Hannish Zabori. 6
Jerry, they lost 5 in the semis and finals. That was the same number of match points they saved in the quarterfinals.
Welcome, Amy. Welcome all.
This Hannish Zabori right now, they're hard to beat. They've got the trust that they have in themselves, and their opponents just, they have to bring their A game to be and willing to hang and play solid paddle, because they've just got so many skills. So
yeah, there's a hurdle you have to make a couple of volleys on return of serve just to get that match and grind them in that match. And that match, they got broken at 3-2. It was Janelle from that in the second set.
So, Mark, are you going to go down and interview the players?
Yes, I was about to say that. I'm going to go down and interview players, and you can continue. I will be very interested in what you say. I'll just be unable to hear it for a little.
Okay, well, I'm going to give commentary on you walking down to the court. And,
that should be very exciting.
And I'll just continue with a wrap up of the match. So, Hannish and Zabori, they are the national champions, and they're ranked #1 in the country. So they're expected to win, and that brings a different kind of pressure. And they have to be able to fend off the energetic push that most of the team are going to be seeing, going forward. They have the target on their back, and that give you a different kind of pressure. And their opponents are going to be chatting, trying to figure out different ways to come up with some strategies to try and stop this steamroll. But kudos to Shea and Sutter. I mean, they had a great tournament. They're playing together. This is their second season together. And they had their big win, Western New England, a couple ago on tour, beating Delmonico Gabier and Elliot No. And they took out the #2 seeds, Gio and so they're improving with every they play. I just want to give a shout out to our tournament director, Lincoln Wergu, and APTA tour director Jackie Cameron's out there, eNet Live, John Scott and Ed and Patrick for streaming. And to all the umpires and volunteers who make this event. I think Mark Fischel is there with our winners, so I'll hand it over to him.
Okay, I'm here with the winners of the 21 the last tournament of 2021, Detroit Invitational. Flor Hanish and Anna Zabori, you played great today. Can you tell me what the strategy was?
I don't know. I think in our game, the quarterfinals was a battle. We saved so much points and it was like great mentally. When I play with Anna, I always know it's not over until the last. And I think that was very good for me since I haven't had that much time to practice with the baby and work. So that was huge. And then I just felt better and better as the match goes on. And thank you, Anna, for always supportive.
So we got to see you guys lose 5 games in 2 matches. Who was the team that played in the quarterfinals?
So the quarterfinals, honestly, we very solid team. Heather and Marie, they were just solid. Probably they made 5 errors in the whole match. It was a battle, and you have an early round that goes in a battle, a long battle, and you have to really dig deep. It helps loosen up for the rest of the tournament, and I think we played really well. We did have a strategy. Florentina, again, is the brain. She doesn't want to give it to everyone. She knew what the strategy was, and we had a great time playing together. I have to say, seeing Florentina much faster than what I do in the nationals, and when she was very pregnant, is sometimes I'm like, wow, I can't believe she got there. So again, it's a pleasure. We love playing together, and I think the results are following that great feeling that and partnership we have on the court.
Where are we going to see you guys next?
In Mexico for Christmas. We're going to Westchester Country Club in Rye. That's December 7th.
January 7th.
Thank you, January 7th. So I'm very excited to be there. It used to be my club for 5 years. So it should be fun also to be close to all our friends and everything.
We don't have that many tournaments left. We have Westchester, Boston. We have some friends. Our camper is from Philly, so maybe we'll do Philly. We don't know yet. And then the Nationals. So it's not that many events left, but we are always looking forward. And we never know. We always go very conservative with our calendar, and then we're missing competing. So hopefully, maybe we'll change our mind.
Okay, well, congratulations, and that's a wrap. We'll see everybody tomorrow for the men's tournament.